You know, when you tell people your organization is celebrating its 125th anniversary, they really are just amazed at the longevity of the organization. And I guess in some respects I am too, but yet I'm not. As I look at the people that have been involved, I look at the leadership that we've had on our board of directors, I look at how they have interacted and the committees have functioned, and I think that speaks to the reason of why we are celebrating our 125th anniversary.
I worked hard at as leader of the association was to lead from the back. If I were going to have members come in and spend their time and effort and take a day off from their business to come into the association, if I was going to stand up there and do all the talking all the time, that just wasn't a good program. So I developed a plan of having our members up front as much as possible. And I'm talking about committee members and board members and various people within our industry. And it worked out well.
I learned from a friend of mine that was also in the business who introduced me and took me with him to one of the first meetings. From that point on, I met people that I could associate with and bring back home things I learned and methods to improve our business and learn how to grow it.
When Bill Lemon came up here and asked me to join the Grain and Feed Board, I wasn't going to do it because it was too much of an obligation, long way, I was really busy, had a business to run, and my father told me, "You've been complaining about how things are going and you have an opportunity to impact that, so you're a fool for not being involved." The Grain and Feed Association has far exceeded any expectations even my father had given for me that I didn't see. It's allowed me to interact with others in my field, people that are smarter than I am and that I can learn from. The other thing is I've made a ton of friends. People that I would have never been friends with had I not been involved in the association. And so for that, I'm grateful.
The association has impacted me professionally by giving me the confidence as a manager that if I need any information to help me with anything in my business, I've got somewhere to go to get information from the association staff, be it safety, human resources. I have access to all the programs that they have, and then also with networking different managers around. So I know that I've met them from meetings and things that I can give them a call and help me out when I need it.
We would write regulations and we would think they were right, and then there's practical application that really rules the day in terms of you can put something on paper and it may not work, but they've always been very engaging to try to work around any regulatory issues, and they change all the time. They evolve over time with the size of the industry. So it's really pretty a dynamic industry that's very intriguing, very rewarding to be involved in.
Well, I have a lot of good memories of the association and the association events that I've attended. I think the one that sticks out the most to me is when I first started in this business. I had just been placed at a river terminal, and there was a GFAI event at Arlington Park that same week that my manager sent me to. And I was pretty nervous. I mean, I didn't know anybody. I had no work experience in the grain industry, so I was pretty anxious about it. And I remember Gary Chandler, who is actually a customer of mine now, and Judy Michaels, who coincidentally worked at Midco at the time, which is where I work now. They both went out of their way to come up and introduce themselves to me. They took me around during the day, throughout the event, introduced me to a lot of people, and just really went out of their way to make me comfortable. And I mean, I remember that to this day. I mean, like it was yesterday, and it was over 20 years ago.
The association itself is really a wonderful organization, and I view it kind of like friends and family. The closest friends I have in the grain business came from meeting them in the association and the board of directors and involvement there. And professionally, you know, that's really important to have friends that you can talk to about things, problems that occur. Everybody has the same problems. Sometimes people have a knowledge that you don't have that you can get some information from and that type of thing. The association itself has some really great benefits to it, and I said that it is friends and family. I really believe that the safety and health program is desperately important, because there's nothing more important than the safety and the health of these employees that we have. They're the ones that make the company, not me. And we got to make sure that they stay safe. And I just think that that is probably one of the most important things that the association does.
As I think about the relationships that are built with the association, and you stop and you look at the fact that this organization is celebrating our 125th anniversary, you have to go back and look at the people who have built the organization and who have put the building blocks in place, the foundation in place for the organization. And I think the close-knit community and the relationships is really what's helped the association stay together in existence for this 125 years. And it's been that continuity, that strength of character that has helped to build the relationships and keep the longevity of the association going.